Did the legendary Trojan horse really exist? Or is it just a myth passed down through the ages? Today, we're unraveling one of the greatest stories ever told, the Trojan War. Was it fact or pure fiction? Stick around because the truth might be more surprising than you think. Picture this. The sun is setting over the vast Aegean Sea, casting a golden glow on the walls of the mighty city of Troy. For 10 long years, the Greek army has been besieging its gates, driven by a relentless desire to reclaim Helen, the woman whose beauty supposedly sparked the conflict. The story, immortalized in Homer's epic, the Iliad, paints a vivid picture of gods, heroes, and battles that shook the ancient world. But how much of this story is actually true? Was there really a war fought over a single woman? And did the Greeks truly construct a giant wooden horse to sneak into the city? Let's peel back the layers of myth to uncover the reality hidden beneath. Fast forward to the late 19th century. An ambitious archaeologist named Heinrich Schliemann sets out on a quest to prove that the legendary city of Troy was more than just a figment of imagination. And in 1870, he made a groundbreaking discovery, the ruins of a city buried beneath the sands of what is now modern-day Turkey. But was this truly the site of the Trojan War? Schliemann's excavations revealed massive walls, charred remains, and layers of destruction that matched Homer's description. However, not everyone was convinced. Many scholars argue that the city Schliemann found dates back hundreds of years before the supposed timeline of the Trojan War. So, if the city of Troy did exist, was there actually a war that lasted a decade? And if so, was it really all about Helen? Or was there a deeper, more political motive at play? As we dig deeper, the lines between myth and history blur even further. Now let's talk about the most famous part of the story, the Trojan horse. According to legend, after a decade of feudal fighting, the Greeks came up with a cunning plan. They built a massive wooden horse, hid their best warriors inside, and presented it as a gift to the Trojans. Believing they had won, the Trojans brought the horse into their city. But under the cover of night, Greek soldiers emerged, opened the gates, and brought Troy to its knees. It's an incredible story, but did it really happen? Historians and archaeologists have debated this for centuries. Some believe that the Trojan horse might have been a metaphor. Perhaps it was a clever siege weapon, like a battering ram or a covered siege tower, rather than a literal wooden horse. Others speculate that the story was a poetic invention to symbolize betrayal and cunning. But if that's the case, what really led to Troy's downfall? Was there a secret strategy that we have yet to uncover? The answer might lie not in the myths, but in the historical accounts of the ancient world. Let's step away from the myths for a moment and look at the bigger picture. Ancient historians like Herodotus and Thucydides suggested that the real cause of the Trojan War wasn't a love affair, but rather control over trade routes in the Aegean Sea. Troy was strategically located at the entrance to the Dardanelles, a crucial passage for ships. Controlling Troy meant controlling trade and wealth. This theory paints the war in a different light, one of political power and economic gain, rather than romantic rivalry. It suggests that the Greeks had a far more practical reason for waging war against Troy, a reason that's been lost in the romanticized retellings of the story. But what about the gods and heroes? Were they merely characters added to make the story more compelling, or did they represent something deeper in the minds of the ancient Greeks? Perhaps the true power of the Trojan War lies not in its historical accuracy, but in what it reveals about human nature. In the end, the Trojan War remains one of history's greatest enigmas, a blend of myth, legend, and possible historical fact. While we may never know the full truth, one thing is certain. The story of Troy has captured the human imagination for thousands of years, inspiring countless retellings and interpretations. But here's the final question. Does it really matter whether the Trojan War happened exactly as Homer described? Or is the enduring power of the story proof that some legends are more powerful than the truth itself? The line between myth and history may be thin, but one thing is clear. The tale of the Trojan War will continue to fascinate us for generations to come.